experience within Ghana. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Been amazing.
I'm doing great. I'm Fabian.
You look good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, where are you coming from?
I live in Georgia. I'm originally from the Caribbean. I'm from Haiti, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Haitian.
Yes, Haitian. That's what I say.
A first time Haitian on the channel.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Okay. So, let me know. Is your first time visiting the country?
No, this is actually my fourth or fifth time visiting the country. The first time I came to Ghana was about 3 years ago, and I absolutely fell in love with the country. And then the people won me over, and now I'm addicted.
Let me know. For the first time you visiting the country and up to now,
Yeah.
let me know what motivated you to come for the first time and also for the fourth time.
Well, the first motivation was I have a friend in Georgia that's from Ghana. She's always talking about Ghana, and I've wanted to visit. So I came to visit Ghana, just, coming to visit a West African country. And then I get here, and the people, the culture, the country, everything is just so beautiful and welcoming that now I feel like it's home calling me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when you were coming, I would like to know some of the misconceptions or the perception, negative perception that you were having about Ghana.
Well, when I first started, my first visit here, some of the misconceptions was that Africans here in Africa did not welcome us, did not want us here. They feel like we were disconnected. And then I get here, and that's a complete lie. I was welcome like it was like my grandmother welcomed me back home with open arms. That's the feeling that I got when I visited Ghana. So that's why I keep coming back now, because the people are just so welcoming and want us here. And
We have really got to clear some stuff up because I am so sick of seeing these conversations that we are having about where we come from as people. And so many of us having these conversations about how we are not from Africa, we're really from America. Can we just get into that for just a moment? Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Black people were in the Americas before slavery. That is not a conspiracy in any shape, form, or fashion. That's simply just a fact, okay? But that does not mean that you are not African. You are an African who migrated, period. All right? We were the original people. If you truly understand what that means, you also know that you're going to find our footprints all over the world, whether that's in the Americas, that's in the Caribbean, that's in Asia, Australia, Europe. It does not matter. Wherever we migrated, the root is still the same, which is Africa. That is where human life began. That is where the divine footprint was created, okay? So even if your ancestors were here before 1619, they were still African people before they got here. Okay, so here's the issue. What's wild to me is how we discovered that we were already here. And then instead of that bringing us closer to Africa, it somehow was created to, build distance and separation between us. That is not empowerment, Black people. That is fragmentation. That's colonization doing exactly what it was designed to do, which is colonize your entire mind, get you to forget the source, get you to question the root, and get you to build an identity in isolation instead of on connection. I always say our power lies in the fact that we are such a massive group of people. Okay. Now, being in America before the ships doesn't mean you're not African. What that means is your people were explorers, travelers, and navigators.
Let me tell you guys something. As an African American woman, the best compliment, like I'm talking sends my ego through the roof, is when someone looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, you're African. Where are you from?" African people are beautiful. They're top tier. They're gorgeous. If only. I wish I knew. I mean, obviously I am, but I wish I knew where and when. I wish. So to be called a goddess in real life it brings real joy to my face. Like, I literally almost kind of want to hit the Dougie every time somebody says to me, aren't you African? Are you African? Where are you from? And I sadly have to go, no, babe, I'm African American. I mean, I am, but like, I just don't know. But I'm going to find out because I really want to know.
Right, welcome back again to the African Streamline. I am Atamba. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for always being here. You know, you are the greatest people that I know. You are my greatest man. I really love you people so much because you people make me feel like you are part of me. You make me feel like I have a reason to live. You people, I really like you and I really love you so much. Thank you for always coming and thank you for always tuning in. I really salute you. Now, direct to the story of the day. Many of you, when we are walking around and talking about things here and there about Capt.Ibrahim Traore and all those things, we just talk about how he wants to revolve Africa, how he has cut ties with France, how he has been assassinations have been like he was about to be assassinated, how he went to Russia, how he sat with Vladimir Putin, how he is ending terrorism in Burkina Faso and all that, how he's feeding people in Burkina Faso, how he's helping people in Burkina Faso, how he has the spirit of uniting, the spirit of making Africa independent and bring back the freedom and all those things. But now, can we focus on something here? Like, let us try and focus on something. Have you asked yourself, what is it that Capt.Ibrahim Traore really wants? Because I want us to start breaking down things here and there. Because when people get on the extent of loving you and saying, you know, this is the kind of a man that we need, there is something very special. And there are things that people don't talk about. There are things that these young man wants really, and people don't talk about it. To some point, you've had Capt.Ibrahim Traore asking Black and African Americans to come back to Africa. Haven't you had that? You've seen that severally. I guess you've seen it severally. African Americans to come back to Africa. And he said that in Burkina Faso, if you're an African American, you need to come back to Africa. And you can come back to Burkina Faso free of charge. That you don't need visa and anything. You just need to pack your things and come to Burkina Faso. You will be received. That means that there is a certain relationship or a certain connection between him and our brothers and sisters from the US and from the diaspora. Okay, now that aside, Ibrahim Traore wants this. You see this video that I want you to watch. This is what Ibrahim Traore really wants in us, in Africa, amongst us. This is what he wants. Ibrahim Traore wants a country and a continent and a place where people love each other. He wants a place where people can live peacefully and people can live well. Ibrahim Traore wants Africans who are able to protect their motherland, who are able to speak positive about their motherland, who are able to praise their motherland, who are able to understand that their motherland is the best continent and the beautiful continent in the whole world. Okay? And what African Americans are doing right now, the ones in this video that I'm going to play for you, are doing exactly what Ibrahim Traore wants. These African Americans, they love Africa. They are coming back to Africa. What Ibrahim Traore wants. Traore wants these people to come back to Africa. Dr. Arikana talked about it sometime. He said, African Americans and our black people from diaspora should come back to Africa. Me, when I see African Americans and black people coming back to Africa, I feel like a change is coming. I feel like there is something new that is about to happen. And this something new that's about to happen, it's about to bring a very big change in Africa. It's about to place Africa in its real and initial position in the face of the world and in the face of the earth. Okay? Therefore, I feel so nice and I feel so wonderful when I see these people coming back to Africa. Not only coming back to Africa, but speaking positive about the motherland, speaking well about the motherland. All these videos that I'm going to play for you, these African Americans and Black Americans, they came to Africa. And after coming to Africa, they went ahead and began speaking well about the continent of Africa. Okay, they came to Africa, they began speaking positive about the people of Africa, and I was like, oh my God. So these people, when they came to Africa, after coming to Africa, they felt like Africa is a better place and a nice place for them to be. I want you to watch these videos, and then I'll come back and bring my views about it at the end of it, which I'll have a discussion. But again, as you're watching it, tell me in the comment section, what do you think, even before we even finish the whole video? Without further ado, let's get after it.
Yep, the white man.
Do you feel more black here?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I feel more. I do feel more black here. You know why? I buy black inevitably. It doesn't matter where I go. And I won't say that because I have learned recently that some of these bigger places are owned by white people or Chinese people or something like that. So I've learned to, frequent the black owners, but it's easy here. Like the corner store, the locals, the market, it's all black people that woke up, went in their garden, picked those apples for you or picked those tomatoes for you and came to sell them to you. The people who's building my house, these are black people. Everything I do here is black, not to mention the money I'm spending, there's black people on it. Like, that's a big deal for me. When I go in my pocket and spend, I'm constantly reminded of how great my people are. So I do feel more black here in a good way, though. Like, you can feel real black in America, too, but in a bad way. Like, you go into the nail salon to get your feet done, Chinese people doing your feet, they talk about you in their language. You go to the corner store ran by the Arabs and you give them their money, they give you your change on the counter, not in your hand. Or they watch you around the whole store like you're going to steal. The police are killing us and shooting us down for no reason. So I'm very black in America, too, but just in a bad way. Like, here, I'm like royalty black, honey. Like, I'm the president. Like,
all right, guys, let's go. We're going to the coffee shop. That's the crew back there following me. They all back there. All these Americans are coming to get some just amazing property. So, guys, follow me today, and you'll see the crew back there. They for real. Except that one right there. That is all good. So, all right, guys. See y'all guys on the inside.
So, would you like to visit Africa?
I would absolutely like to visit Africa. I will say back in the day, I did not because it was more of a commercialized thing that in Africa it was very poor.
Yes.
Most people are hungry. You always see the little kids with the belly and the flies on them. And so it was painted as a horrible place. And then as I got older, I realized like Africa is actually very beautiful. There's a lot of money in Africa and a lot of white people have found Africa before we did. So they have a lot of business over there. They're starting to try to westernize certain places. And so me as a person in America, because I don't want to say African American, but a person in America needs to get on board with Africa.
Oh, this was an excellent interview.
I am a Black American and I absolutely love to travel to the continent of Africa. It's my favorite continent in the whole wide world. But one of my biggest fears is that the more Black Americans come to this continent, they will not handle it with grace and with care. So, for example, I am in Ghana right now and I'm getting messages and people are sending me texts of people who had a bad experience at a festival or like all two people who got their phone stolen. And people are like, oh my God, I'm afraid, I can't come. They don't have their stuff together, this, that. And I'm like, that is their experience. It's not my job to negate or validate somebody's personal experience. That is what happened to them. But I just wish more Black Americans handled the systems that they think need to be in place with more care, understanding the historical context for why those conditions actually exist. And also understand that negative news about the continent literally drives people's internalized fear that Africa is inherently bad, and it literally feeds stereotypes. I'm not telling people how they should feel. I'm just saying that as Black Americans, with all your Western ideology and our privilege and our internalized challenges with the continent already, let's make sure we handle it with more care and more grace.
I have been, as I told you before, I have been to Japan and I have seen the Japanese people in their land I have been to China. I have seen the Chinese in their land. I have been to Italy. I've seen the Italians in theirs. I have been to Spain. I have seen the Spanish in theirs. I have finally come home to see my people.
As an African living in the United States, I used to share the same sentiment.
Hey beautiful, it's your girl Rebecca Zahara. So if you haven't watched that video, I want you to go ahead and run it back. There's a lot of things that this user said that I can appreciate because she acknowledged a lot of things. But there's a couple things that I want to point out. I'll start by saying I'm first generation Haitian American, okay? My mother was born in Haiti. She came here. She had me and my siblings. Okay? So being raised here, as much as I am in touch with my roots, I am black. Okay? Now, I want to say a couple things. African Americans know that black immigrants that come here see them as less than because of what's promoted to them, okay? They know that. We know that. The reason that African Americans say that you are black is because when you come to this country, before you open your mouth, you are black. Before you have the chance to tell people the country that you come from, you are viewed as black and will be treated as such regardless of how much you code switch, what rooms you are in, etc. You are black. Black Americans also know that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. That's the whole reason for that saying. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. We know that, okay? That's another thing. And the pride that you see black Americans have is because the history that it's taken to even get to this point. Although there's still a lot more work to do, let's be clear. I think that when immigrants come to this country, I think it's really important to realize, although black Americans are often portrayed as lazy or whatever we're portrayed as, I think it's important to realize that what you view as lazy is what a black American will view as, okay, historically, we've done this and we are no longer settling. But when an immigrant comes to this country, of course they are trying to make a living. So they're going to do what they have to do regardless, right? Another thing that I want to acknowledge is when you are coming to America, you are coming for several reasons, right? That could be liberation, that could be more opportunity, etc. When you come to this country, it's important to acknowledge that the things that you are so excited for are the things that Black African Americans have broken their back, their ancestry have broken their back, have built this country. And so whatever depiction, propaganda, etc. that has been taught to you, when you come here and you start doing your research, which you should, it's important to realize the foundation that you are so excited to be a part of was built off of African Americans' backs. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Nimehama huku Kenya kama 1 month and a half ago. Family yangu wamehama na tulihama pamoja. This is not my first time in Kenya. I've actually visited many times. So misi mgeni, nimeshazoea kukua hapa. Najua Swahili yangu si kama yako na ni sawa. Mi sijali najaribu, and that's all that matters, right? So we're gonna try and make this short and sweet little update for my people on the internet that have been following me since I first started talking about just my journey since I decided to move to Kenya. We're here in Naivasha. Y'all, I've been traveling and seeing Kenya in all of its glory. I feel like I've stamped 3 more places on my Kenya passport, unlocking all the cities, different regions, counties. Yeah, that's why it's been a while since I've been able to post one of these, but it actually has been exactly a month since I posted my first little clip of me explaining why I decided to move to Kenya from Seattle. I decided I'm going to continue this series and share with you all more about my journey, reasons, how I view life from this perspective. But let's move to the most hot topic that I've had so far, which is where I'm from, okay? I was born and raised in Seattle, Washington. Both of my parents are Kambas. I'm not Kikuyu, I'm not Luya, I'm not Luo, I'm not Kisii, I'm not Kalenjin. I'm Kamba, okay? My last name is Kyoko, and that's the story.
That I got when I visited Ghana. So that's why I keep coming back now, because the people are just so welcoming and want us here, and they want us to gap that bridge and say, hey, we are one people. No matter, you may be across that ocean, but we are one people. So that's what I love about being here in Ghana.
We are one people. All right. So it looks like Ghana has been misrepresented. All right, based on the misconception that you were having, of that you came here, they weren't true. Why do you think the country Ghana, to some people, is misrepresented? What are we doing wrong?
I don't think it's really something that Ghana or within is doing wrong. I just think it's been a long systematic on both sides that people are now willing to say, hey, let's stop for a minute and actually go find out the facts instead of what we've been told or what we've grown up to believe. So it's not a misrepresentation on either side. It's just you personally having to want to break that chain and say, hey, let me go find out for myself and not what you or someone else told me about Ghana, the people, anything else.
Okay. So on my channel, on Viceman TV, I mostly talk about people coming to Africa, any country within Africa, and experiencing Africa for themselves, because there are so many misconceptions that people preach about Ghana or any other African country that I believe that they are not true. And as a matter of fact, we've also confirmed that some of the misconceptions weren't true. But I would like to know, were some of the misconceptions factual?
I wouldn't necessarily it's factual. I think it's really two cultures meeting each other and wanting to respect each other's cultures and learn about the differences that brings us closer. So, when I came here, some things that you have to learn is like, in the US, you want things to be done. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, talk to you get to Ghana, it's really
2 weeks.
Yes, and then you have to be able, it's going to get done. It's going to get done how you want it to get done, just not as fast as you want it to get done. And you have to learn to say, you know what? I'm not in the US where I can expect these things. So I have to take a deep breath and respect how they do things and handle things. And then also the Ghanaian people could have a little patience with us and say, relax, why are you, kind of understand a little bit of cultural differences. And if we could respect that and everybody chill, I think we're going to be okay.
Nice. So you told me that it's a full-time coming to Ghana. Do you have any business? Do you have something peculiar doing that brings you to the country for the full time?
Yeah, well, the first time when I came, like I said, I came to visit because of a friend's recommendation. But in the last 2 years, we have a travel business. It's called My Travel Addicts.
Talk about it.
Yes, for Travel Addicts, we give people experience. So you don't just, say, I want to come to Ghana and we book you a hotel room. No, we're going to give you the full experience of Ghana. You're going to get the tours. You're going to get to meet the people, immerse yourself in the culture. And then all you have to do is relax and let us all take care of it. So Travel Addicts, that's what we do. You can check us out at mytraveladdicts.com and let us book your next Ghana trip. We do cultural trips within Ghana, and then we venture out to Togo, Benin. So we can definitely get you the experience you want in Ghana and really help you to immerse yourself in the culture and truly learn the people and the beauty of all of us together.
Note that, mytraveladdicts.com.
Yes.
All right. So let me ask you one last question. Now, there's a platform for you to preach about Ghana to the diasporans.
Yes.
If you have one thing to tell the diasporans, what are you going to tell them?
If you want to create generational wealth for you and your family, this is the place to invest your money. This is the place to invest your time. And I get emotional because that is the true fact. If we want to build generational wealth for our families, And I'm sorry, I get so emotional when I talk about it because this is where you need to be. It's truly where you need to be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. That is it. Now, you've been able to see that video, and there is some kind of a vibe. Like when you're watching those videos, you feel, even as an African or as a black person, wherever you are, you feel there is some kind of a, like goosebumps, you know, like you're feeling there is some, you just feel good. And I think as black people and as Africans, people with a skin color that is black, like me, we need to start fighting our own fights. We need to start taking responsibilities of our own things and taking control of our own things. If we want to wait so that people could come from outside and push things for us, or they can come from outside and make decisions for us, that is where we are getting it very wrong, and that is where the problem begins. Okay, you know, I know there are some people who do not like when black Americans or African Americans begin coming back to Africa, even where they're coming from. I know, I can't just speak it out, but I know there are people who don't like when they see African Americans or black Americans now deciding to migrate to come back to Africa. Their original land where they originated. Okay, because number one, they are going with the knowledge they have. Number two, every part they used to play in where they're coming from. Now, nobody's going to play that part anymore. Nobody's going to take that responsibility any longer, because a black American and an African American coming back to Africa, they're coming to Africa to stay. You've seen some of them said, I have come to Kenya, or I have come to Africa, and I'm not planning to go back to the United States of America because I have found this place to be the nice place that I've, like, you know, the problem we have is that many people and many black Americans and African Americans who are in diaspora, they were lied to about Africa. They were not told the truth, that this is now the truth, or this is what is the truth. They were not told that. So the fact that they were lied about Africa, it has made it like so difficult for some of them to come to Africa, because they think Africa is a bad place. It's not a good place. It's not a place where when you go there you can be safe, or rather when you go there you can live a good life. Okay, I've had a lady who said that she used to think that in Africa is a place where that people are just sleeping hungry and like it's dirty everywhere. There is nowhere you can step. And she was like, me, I cannot go back to Africa because, for God's sake, how am I going to live or to be in that kind of a place? And so she was afraid of coming back to Africa because she knew Africa is a very, very bad place and a dangerous place. Okay, but after she has grown up, she has realized everything that she was being told that time was all a lie, and she wants to come back now to Africa. So black Americans and African Americans, many of them, they were lied about how Africa really looks like and how Africa really is. And therefore, now after they have known about Africa, and now that they've known a lot of things that were being said was a lie, now they are looking forward to come back to Africa. And that is what we want. We know that it is difficult and some of them cannot afford to come back to Africa. But me, I feel like if we can be able to ship all black Americans and African Americans from the US to come back to Africa, those who want to come and they feel like they cannot manage, we need just to help them come back to Africa, because these are best place they can be. These are the best place they can afford to live very peacefully. In fact, when they come back to Africa, they become rich, because of course the cost of living in the US is a little bit higher compared to the cost of living in Africa. They can manage living in Africa very peacefully and very well. I think when Capt.Ibrahim Traore and when these all leaders who try to fight for the freedom and independence of Africa, Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, Muammar Gaddafi, when they see things like this happening, they feel happy. Okay, I am talking about the people who want to come back to Africa. I'm talking about the African Americans and black Americans who really feel like Africa is the best place they can be. I'm talking so much on those people who are already here, who have tasted the waters, and they feel like these waters tastes sweet. Okay, you've seen them. How they're saying, how they're speaking, how they're talking. This is the kind of unity we want. We want these people to come back. Let us join our hands together and fight the enemy as one. Black Americans in the US and African Americans in diaspora, they've gone through some kind of shit for quite some time. And sometimes I sit down and I feel like, do they deserve to go through that? Do they deserve to go through that kind of a life? Do they deserve to actually suffer? Do they deserve to be resisted? Do they deserve to actually like be destroyed all the times, like be frustrated? Do they really deserve it? Why can't they just come back? Because I believe whatever they're facing back there, when they come back to Africa, they might not be able to face the kind of things they're facing, okay? And I'm not saying that they should come here so that they can be able not to escape from what they're going through. I want just them to come here because they're my brothers, they're my sisters. I want to see these people back to Africa, back to their land, back to where they're coming from, to their origin, okay? That is where I want to see them. And I'm very much happy for what is happening right now. This is what Captain really wants. Deep down, it is what he wants. That is why sometimes he stands up and say, I want African Americans and black people to come back to Africa. Because when they come back to Africa, Africa will grow. These are great minds, okay? These are great minds that are staying there, and we need them back. What made me happy today is that African Americans and black Americans who are in the US saying that Africa is the best place to be. It's a beautiful place, accepting and agreeing to be Africans. They're saying, me, I'm an African American, but I'm proud to be an African. I know where I came from is in Africa, and Africa is my place. Africa is my home. Therefore, I will say it again and again that I come from Africa, and I love Africa, and Africa is my motherland. Me, when I hear people like those ones, I feel like, oh, you know what? This is a kind of a person that really, really, really loves this continent, and it's a kind of a person I can have a conversation with, I can talk to, I can feel happy staying next to. Yeah. And I really feel like, you see, there is some kind of a big change that is coming, and there is some kind of a wave that is coming, and a time is coming when we shall all have to agree with the situation and be and live according to how the situation wants us to live. I just feel so good when I'm shooting this video, and those people who are embracing the continent, embracing the motherland, I salute you. Ibrahim Traore, wherever he is, he feels so happy when he sees videos like this, and that is why we do this collection. It's also to show him that the work he's doing is a better work, is a nice work, is a beautiful work. Okay, me, my black brothers from Caribbean, from diaspora, from Africa, me, I love you so much, and I feel like you the best people that I know. You're my blood brothers and sisters. I salute you and I love you so very much. Tell me what you think on the comment section, my people. What do you think about these, about African Americans coming back to Africa and embracing Africa and saying, you know, Africa is a beautiful place to be, and everybody needs to come back to Africa as a black person. And those who have come to Africa, they say we're not gonna go back to the US because we have found this place a better place, a nice place, a wonderful place. Tell me what you think on the comment section. I'll do my best to make sure I read the comments and give a response where possible. This is the African Streamline. I am Atamba Heti. Let's meet the next video. If it's first time here, don't forget to subscribe. Joining subscribers, I salute you. Let's meet in the next video.